Prabhu Matta Sarvam Pravartate Iti Matva Bhajante Ma Buddha Bhava Samanvita. So Krishna says he is the source of all material and spiritual things, and once we know that, we should involve in his devotional service. So that's our Sambandha with Krishna. Then what about 10.9? It's the
Avideya.
Avideya, the process, right? So Krishna Sambandha, Bhakti Avideya, the process. How I can re-establish my lost relationship with Krishna. And 10.10 and 11 is about what?
Prayojan.
The Prayojana.
Prayojana.
Goal, right? Okay. So I think we stopped in 21 there. So last class. So 19 to 42, I mean, the last part of this chapter is basically about Krishna explaining his few of his unlimited vibhutis. Okay. His opulences are unlimited. Sometimes it is said, why the sky is blue? Does anyone know? That's a basic question. Kids ask
because it absorbs blue and, sorry, it gives away blue and absorbs rest of the colors.
That's all science. But why is that blue color?
Because complexion of Lord Krishna is blue.
Yeah. So that means it's a Brahman. See, Krishna's complexion is bluish dark in the sense freshly found monsoon cloud. But if you say it is blue, then the reflection from coming from Krishna's body, this effulgence is the Brahman, and that effulgence, Krishna's body. So you can see the sky is unlimited, it's blue. The ocean is unlimited, it's blue. And so Krishna is unlimited. His vibhutis are unlimited. If somebody says that I know everything about Krishna, I've done Bhakti Shastri, Bhakti Vibe, I know everything, that means they are lying, because nobody can know everything about Krishna because he's unlimited. Okay, so his opulence is unlimited. But in this session, in this Bhagavad Gita discussion, Krishna says some of his unlimited opulences or vibhutis. Why? So that we understand what Krishna is. Okay, and this is a trailer before going to the what do you say, the Vishwarupa. Okay, before showing the Vishwarupa, Krishna is actually just Krishna is actually trying to give us a quick recap, like what is what. So in different vibhutis, you can see 10.21, Krishna says among Adityas, he's Vishnu, among luminaries, he's the sun. And among this wind, he's the Marichi, and on stars, he's the moon. Nakshatranam aham shashi. So how many of you yesterday seeing the nice Purnima? It's so nice, no? The moon was looking so good. So how many of you remembered Krishna there when you saw the moon? Did you remember Krishna? Seeing that Nakshatra?
Yes, Mataji.
Yes, Mataji.
You remembered. So
Yes.
that means you are in Krishna consciousness. Prabhupada says that's the best way to understand Krishna, in the sense to be Krishna conscious, because Krishna, moon and sun both are Krishna's eyes. Krishna says in another chapter also, like Rasoham apsu kaunteya prapasmi shashi suryayo prapasmi shashi suryayo. Krishna is the light of the sun and the moon. So when we see sun and moon, when Prabhupada went for a evening walk, there was a full moon, and Prabhupada said, just seeing the moon, Prabhupada's like Nitai Pada Kamala Kodi Chandra Shushitala. There's a Vaishnava bhajan, it says Nitai Pada Kamala, the lotus feet of Nityananda Prabhu is equal to 1,000 crores of moonlight. Kodi Chandra Shushitala. So the disciples are like, see, how just by seeing the moon, Prabhupada just remembered Nityananda Prabhu's lotus feet. So we are not so advanced, but at least by seeing the moon, we can know that's Krishna's energy. So Krishna says in the 21st sloka, 10th chapter, Adityanam aham Vishnu Jyotisam Revira Amshuman Marichi Marutam Asmi Nakshatranam aham Shashi. Nakshatranam aham Shashi. Okay, so out of all the stars, Krishna is the moon in sense. It is not, that doesn't mean moon is Krishna, it's one of his opulences. Okay, there's a representative of Krishna. You should understand in that way. Not like saying that, oh, moon is Krishna and then start worshipping. No, it's representing Krishna. Okay, moon is just a vibhuti or an opulence of the Lord. It's an energy of the Lord, like that, an expansion of the Lord. So among the Vedas, Vedanam Sama Vedosmi Devanam Asmi Vashava Indriyanam Anaschasmi Bhutanam Chasmi Chaitana. These slokas from 10.21 to 42 actually doesn't require any explanation, because it's very simple. When Krishna says among stars he is moon, we have to accept it. Prabhupada says that if you don't accept, then you're not a devotee. So in 10. Then the Chatusloki also, no? In 10.8, when Krishna says he is the source of all spiritual and material things, Aham Sarvasya Prabhu, Prabhupada says we should accept it. If we don't accept, then it's we are not devotees. So accept Bhagavad Gita as it is. And it's very easy for us. So it says, Vedanam Sama Vedosmi. Samang Vedas, Krishna is the Sama Veda. Demigods is Indra. Doesn't mean Krishna, Indra is Krishna. No, Indra is a post. Okay, it's a post. So much pious activity somebody does. Like, what is that qualification to become Indra?
1,000 Ashwamedh Yajna. I mean 100,
not 1,000. So 100. That's why when Prithu Maharaj was about to do 100 Ashwamedh Yajna and sacrifice, horse sacrifice, Brahma came and stopped and said, don't do 100, do 99. Because if you do 100, then you become Indra. But Prithu Maharaj is already an expansion of the Supreme Personality God. He doesn't have to become Indra. But if there is nobody qualified to become Indra, then it says the Lord himself becomes. So in the sense, he is represented. He is just the energy, because demigods are part and parcel of Krishna. The senses, he is the mind. Living beings, he is the consciousness. That's why we should have a Krishna consciousness, it is said. Or the mind should be absorbed in Krishna. Manmana, Krishna says. Okay. So in that way, these are different opulences of the Lord. Rudranam Shankaras Chasmi Vedo So Yaksha Rakshasana. So out of Rudras, or he is Shankara. So how many Rudras are there? How many?
11, Mataji.
11.
Yeah, so out of 11 Rudras, Krishna is it says he is Shankara. Rudrana. And Yakshas, Rakshasas, he is Kuvera. Vetosi Yaksha Rakshasam Vasunam Pavakaschasmi Meru Shikharinamaham. So yes. So then also he says of Vasu, he is the fire Agni, and the mountain, he is the Meru mountain. Okay. So it's very simple. Just understand the opulences. Just briefly understand at least 3 or 4 opulences you should remember. So it's easy for you to reproduce during the exam. And Puroda Samcha Mukhyan Mam Vidhi Patam Brihaspati Senaninam Aham Skanda Sarasam Asvisagaraha. So after priest, he's Siddhartha Prabhu.
Hare Krishna. Mataji, it is not there in the purport. So
What?
no, something which is not there in the purport. So I may be wrong also, but like I feel sometimes that even this 10 chapter is maybe not only opulence, but it's very, very highly symbolic as well. Because
Yes.
for example, in amongst Vedas, he's talking about the Sama Veda. Now, Sama Veda is about more of songs, and Gita is also a song. So there's so much of synonym is there. I mean, of course, this only some kind of what I feel. I may be wrong also.
Yes. So Bhagavad Gita is actually also a song. So it is said in the spiritual world, every thing we speak or every sound is a song. Every step is a dance. So in that way, yes, there is no conversation as such happening here. It's actually Bhagavad Gita is also in a form of song way, where you sing in a particular meter. So even in spiritual world, there is no normal talking happening like what we do. It is said that there also it is like a song. Every sound is like a song, and every step is like a dance. We think people, the gopis and gopas are walking, but they actually walk dancing and walking. So in that way, yes, as Prabhu said, there are synonyms. All this is from the spiritual world. So definitely there is similarities. Okay. So here, okay. So out of great sage, he is Bhrigu. Okay. Maharshina Bhrigur Aham Giram Asmi Ekam Aksharam Yat Jnanam Chapayat Yosmi Stavaranam Himalayaha. So this is very important sloka. It says Yatnyanam Japayat Yosmi. Out of sacrifice, you can see the 10.21. In vibration, he is Om. And Krishna says Pranava Sarva Vedeshu. Rasoham apsukam deya prapasmi shishisudiyo pranava sarva vedeshu shabda ke paurusham nusham. So when Krishna says pranava sarva veda, he is the Om. That's why the Hare Krishna Mahamantra doesn't need Om, because already we have Hare, Krishna and Rama there. Om represents Krishna. And sacrifice, he is Japa. So sometimes we feel, oh, we are not doing any sacrifice, we are not doing any homa as such, that this. But then the japa yajna, what you're doing, the mantra meditation, that's also a yajna or sacrifice that we are doing. Yajnanam japa yajna. So when you do japa, I was reading Namamrita, and that quote, it says, There's no difference between Krishna's holy name and Krishna. Apinattam namanam. So Krishna's holy name and Krishna is the same. So similarly, the sacrifice or yajna, what we are doing, it's equal to the japa, what we are doing, the chanting. So you have a in Kali Yuga, Kalortat Hari Kirtana. Sacrifice recommended in Kali Yuga is japa or chanting. And that is Krishna. Because Apinattam namanam, there's no difference between Krishna and his holy name. Okay, so in that way. Yes, Ekta Mataji.
Hare Krishna Panchantrana Mataji. Mataji, so does this japa include the japa which living entity does for demigods as well, Mataji?
No. It's only for Krishna. Because it
Oh,
says
all right.
Ravanam, Kirtanam, Vishnu. Kirtanam should be for Vishnu, not for anyone. Prabhupada says sometimes they say Kali Kirtan, that Kirtan, this Kirtan. That's not Kirtan actually. Kirtan is only glorifying Krishna. So that japa comes the Hare Krishna Mahamantra, nothing else.
Okay, Mataji. Thank you.
Yes, Siddharth.
Hare Krishna, another thought is coming that yat karosi yat juhosi. So juhosi is the sacrifice.
Yes.
So Purusha Mother Pranam. So naturally,
Yes.
now it has to be japa yajna only.
Yeah. So
Hare
all
Krishna.
the sacrifice has to be given to Vishnu. Yes, it has to be given to the Lord. Okay. Otherwise, even sometimes they do no Ganpati Homa and all they were doing. So we were chanting on the side because you can't take away their belief. They believe in the demigods, okay. But we were praying like Ganpati can remove all the obstacles in the path of Bhakti. But finally, after everything was over, the Homa was over and the priest was trying to give prasadam to everyone. At last, he just did Sarvam Narayana, like Sarvam Krishna Arpanamastu, like that. And he chanted that Kayana Vaja Manasendriyarva Putyatmanava Prakriti Swabhavat Karomi Ityal Sakalam Parisme Narayana Iti Samarpayami. So that's the last verse of Vishnu Sahasranam, and he said Sarvam Narayana. So that yajna, it was it was done for Ganpati, but then it's given to Narayana in the sense that sacrifice. So that means what? Finally it has to go to Krishna. So why do you go indirectly? You can go directly. So that is the japa yajna. And as Mataji asked, is there chanting for any other demigod's name included? No, it's actually Krishna, and the japa or the yajna that is recommended in Kali Yuga is Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Iti Shodashatam Nam Kali Kalmashanashana. So this is the only one that is powerful in Kali Yuga, nothing else. And in immobile things, he's Himalayas when Krishna says, Ashwatha Sarvavikshanam Devarshinam cha Naradaha Darvanam Shita Radha Siddhanam Kapilo Muni. So of that, all the trees, he's the banyan tree. So here, does anyone know the 15th chapter, no? The material world is compared to an inverted banyan tree. Urdha Mula Madashakam Ashwatham Prahuraviyam. So there, so now you understand why banyan tree is used, because it says, because in banyan tree also, the roots cannot be identified first. It's all mixed and twisted and all that. So sages among the demigods, he's Narada, and in Gandharvas, he's Chitra, Radha, and perfect beings, he's Kapila. Okay. So Kapila Dev is also an incarnation of Krishna. So these are all different incarnations of the Lord, in the sense different representative of his energies of the Lord. Ucche Shravan Amshvanam Dhimam Amritotpavam Airavatam Dajendranam Naranam Cha Naradipam. So Uchishrava, the horse, didn't anyone hear about that? Where did we see? Where do you see? Samudra Manthan. Yes. So during the Samudra Manthan, this Uchishrava, the horse came. Okay, and also he's Airavata. Airavata is the elephant of whom?
Indra.
Yes. So also it said men. So in men, he is the king. Ayudanam aham vajram denunam asmi kamadau prajanas chasmi kandarpa sarpanam asmi vasuke. So weapon is the thunderbolt and cows is Surabhi. So it says no. Chintamani Pragarasal Madhukalpa Vriksha Laksha Vadeshi Surabhi Apipala Indam. So in the spiritual world, there is the Surabhi cows, which is full of milk, and it is plenty of the Surabhi cows are available there. And cause of procreation, he is last for producing progeny, Kandarpa, and serpents is Vasuki. Where did we come across Vasuki?
Again, it's Samudra Manthan.
In Samudra Manthan, Vasuki was used for what?
As a rope, Mataji, for
churning the mountain.
Churning the Mandara mountain. So that's Vasuki is Krishna, it is said. Anantas Chasmina Gana Marano Yadasam aham pitrinam aryamam chasmi yama samyamatam aham. So out of demons, he's Prahlad. He's, many hood snakes, he's Anandashesh. So Anandashesh is the expansion of
Balaram.
Balram. So Balram, like Sankarshna or Anandashesh, all this is Balram only. So that means Anandashesh. So you can see Anandashesh lying and Krishna is Vishnu lying on top of that. So Anandashesh, Balram serves and Shantaras there. Okay, so it is said, when you glorify Krishna, what one tongue can do? We can't stop glorifying Krishna, or we can finish glorifying Krishna with one tongue. Anandashesh has thousands of hoods. And it says this, the tongue splits, no, 2 to 2. So there are 2,000 tongues, and Anandashesh could not stop glorifying Krishna even now. He started long back. He could not finish Krishna's glory. So much is Krishna's glory. What with one tongue and 2 years we can do. So among aquatics is Varuna, ancestors is Arivan, dispense of laws. He's Yamaraj. So Yamaraj is also representing of Krishna. He's one of the Mahajans, Yamaraj. Prahaladashyasmi daityanam kala kalyatam aham dikanam chamrakendro aham vainateyascha pakshinam. So among Daitya, he is the demon Prahlad. So just imagine Prahlad being a pure devotee. So pure devotees also represent Krishna. When we say Sakshat Haritvena Samasta Shastri, like all the Shastra says that the Guru also is representative of God. That doesn't mean Guru is God. Similarly, it doesn't mean Prahlad is Krishna. He is representing Krishna. Like pure devotees represent Krishna. They are part and parcel of Krishna. In subdues, he's time, beast is lion, and birds he's Garuda. So Garuda has been the vehicle for the Lord. Pavanam Pavatam Asmi Rama Shastra Pritam Aham Chasana Margaras Chasmi Shodasam Asmi Jahanavi. So purifying agents is the wind, holders of weapon, he's Rama or Parshuram, and fishes is shark, rivers is Ganges. So somebody asked, when you chant the Hare Rama, so Rama indicates who? Proper says yes, it's Balram. Also it indicates Rama, the Sitapati Ram, and also Parshuram. So all three Ramas comes there. But it's actually Krishna only. It's Radharani and then Mohan it says, or is Ramedi Rama, Idi Rama. So somebody who gives pleasure to everyone. So Krishna himself can, comes as Rama, Keshav, Rama, Sharira. So in that way that Hare Krishna Mahamantra Rama includes that. And river, he is Ganges. Why is Ganges so important?
Because it comes from the lotus feet of Lord Krishna.
Yeah. From whom it came? Whose lotus feet it came? Which are when
Lord Vaman.
So when Vamanadev, was measuring the 3 feet, which Bali Maharaj asked, and when he put his feet on top to measure the sky, then what happened? It went to the Brahma's world. It went to Brahma's world, and there, when pierced and went to Brahma's world, Brahma could see the toe of the Vamanadev shining effulgent, that he took some water from his Kamandalu and then started doing Abhishek, and that water came down as Ganges, it is said. The second thing is, when the Lord lifted his leg, it pierced the material universe, and the Viraja river came down as Ganges. It's also said the Lord himself comes as Ganges. So it's very important, Ganga. Nimnaganam yada Ganga, Devanam Achito yada, Vaishnavanam yada Shambho Purananam Atunoditaha. So Nimnaganam yada Ganga. Out of all the Ganges, Bhagavatam says, out of all the rivers, the best is Ganges. And who's the Lord? Achyuta, Krishna. And Vaishnavanam yada Shiva. Out of all the Vaishnavas or devotees, who's the best? Lord Shiva. And Puranartham Adunodita. Out of all the Puranas, Bhagavata Purana is the highest. So in creation, Krishna is the beginning, middle, and end. Sarganam Adis Antasya Madhyam Chaivaham Arjuna Adhyatmam Vidya Vidyanam Vada Pravadadam Aham. Of all creation, he is the beginning, the end, and also the middle, O Arjuna. Of all science, he is the spiritual science of the self, and among logicians, he is the conclusive truth. Aksharanam Akkarosmi Dvandva Samasikasya Aham Evakshaya Kalo Dadaham Vishvato Mukaha. So of all the letters, he's the A, and his compound words, he's the dual compound. Destroyers, he's time. Creators, he's Brahma. So as eternal time, what does the time do? Eternal time?
It deteriorates everything.
destroys everything, deteriorates everything. Like, as we know, like, as the Kali Yuga approaches, we can see everything, the Pralaya comes and there is total dissolution and complete dissolution, partial and the complete dissolution of everything get dissoluted, or the time, eternal time destroys everything. Yes. So, except one thing. What it cannot destroy?
Golaka.
Yeah. So it cannot destroy the spiritual world, and rest everything from the material world, even up to the Brahma's world, everything goes into the Garbhodakshaya ocean. But then the spiritual world doesn't get touched, because it says it's always yet gatvanim. Once you come back, there's no once you go in the coming back, and it's eternal. Advaita Machyuta Manadi Manandarupa. It's Navayamvanamchi. It's always fresh and new, because the Lord is there. So the time cannot touch there. So sometimes we feel, if you gone even this, if you go to the Vrindavan or any dham in this material world, this is a replica of the spiritual world, it says. So you go to the dham, completely forget the time. Some devotees came here for Kartik month SEVA. So they were in service, they were helping with garlands for the deities and cooking for the deities and doing so many services they were doing. So they even forgot when they have to go back, when was the time and date and flight and everything. You know, they were like, what, Mataji, the spiritual world, the time doesn't come here, because it's Krishna's world, and then the time is, Krishna says, Kalosmi, Krishna is the time. So he can expand the time in a devotee's life. Before doing 16 rounds were like too much for us, like 2 hours, how can I do that? But then now it's become part of your life that Krishna, and you have a lot of time. Once you finish your 16 rounds in the early morning, then you have a lot of time to read and everything. But if you extend your japa, you don't do it in Brahma Muhurta and you extend your japa, it will go on and on and on. Because it's Rajaguna. When you do it, Shuddha Sattva. So we have to manage our time in such a way, and we should know the importance of Brahma Muhurta to do our japa. And 34, Krishna says, Mrityu sarva harashyaham, very important. He says, Mrityu sarva harashyaham, the death will take everything from us. Mrityu sarva harashyaham, uddhavascha bhavishyatam, irti svirvaknacha narinam, smritir medadridakshama. So I am the all-devouring death, Krishna says. So death that takes place at every moment. Death endeavors everything, including the memory. So it takes everything from us, except our devotional service and except our sadhana and everything, because that can be continued in our next life. And the generating principle of that yet to be. And among men, he is the fame, fortune, fine speech, memory, intelligence, steadfastness, and patience. These are good qualities. In the Purport Prabhupada says these are good qualities in a woman, and the fame, fortune, fine speech, memory, intelligence, steadfastness, and patience are considered feminine. And if a person possesses all of them or some of them, he's glorious. So these are all Krishna's the qualities in the Lord. Brihat Sama Tada Samnam Gayatri Chanta Sam Aham Asana Margashisho Aham Ritunam Kusumakara. So out of the hymns, he is the Brihat Sama, the poetry is the Gayatri. Okay, among months, he is Margashisha. So this month that's going to be November and December. This is Krishna actually in the month, Margashisha month, and seasons is a flower bearing spring. So Damodar month is also very dear to Krishna, and this Margashisha is Krishna himself, it is said. And among cheaters, Krishna is the gambling. So Krishna says that. Vyutam chalayatam asmi tejas tejasvinamaham jayo asmi vyavasayo asmi sattvam sattvavatam aham. Okay, so the splendid, he's a splendor, victorious, he's a victory, and those who endeavor, effort, endeavor. So sometimes we say the 4 regulative principles. What are they? Which we have to follow? The 4 regulative principles. Yes.
No illicit sex, no meat eating, no gambling, and no intoxication.
Okay. So when you say gambling, there is it's like breaking the 4 regulative principles when you do gambling. So, but in the Kurukshetra war after that, before that, there was gambling, no, between Pandavas and Kauravas. Isn't that breaking the 4 regulative principles?
No, so they violated.
They violated? Pandavas are very pious and they'll never violate the laws. How is? that not a violation then?
Hare Krishna Mataji, Yudhishthira had no choice but to accept it as the king.
Not choice. Okay, he was called for a gambling. It seems a Kshatriya cannot reject that gambling. In the sense, he should accept it. It doesn't come as only for a Kshatriya, not for anyone else. Like, for example, if they've called for a fight, actually fighting and going violent, all that becomes breaking the four relative principles. So in the sense, there will be the truthfulness, everything will be destroyed, even in gambling. But a Kshatriya, as a Kshatriya, like for example, a Kshatriya can go to the forest and kill animals. That is for what? Not for his sense gratification. It is to fight in the battlefield, because if he keeps throwing arrows at a stationary object, he will not be able to throw arrows in the battlefield to his enemies. So he should be taught to throw arrows at a running animal or something which is moving. So for an Kshatriya, it is allowed, but it should not be misused. But for a Kshatriya, as a part of a training, it's allowed. Okay. So, so similarly, so Kshatriya, so it doesn't mean he is violating the four relative principles. He is actually accepting it as a part of their ruling system, also the gambling. But then what happened? Yes, cheating happened. But then Krishna, it says cheaters among the gambling, it's Krishna. So Krishna planned it in such a way that he got an opportunity to speak Bhagavad Gita. And finally, all the properties and everything came back to the Pandavas itself. Right? They were victorious, because among victories, Krishna is the victorious. Yatra Yogeshwara Krishna Yatra Partho Dhanodara Tatra Sri Vijayor Vivani Tirma Tirvam. So wherever there's Krishna, wherever there's Arjuna, it says all Vijaya, the big victory and Sri and opulence, everything will be with them. Because Krishna is Yogeshwara. Krishna is was responsible for the whole victory of Pandavas. In the Bhagavatam also, I think 15th chapter, Arjuna is saying that when Krishna ended his pastime and was about to go back, Krishna almost left to the spiritual world. Arjuna felt so much separation from Krishna. And Yudhishthira Maharaj went on asking Arjuna, what happened to you? Why are you sad? And Arjuna is like, no, my best friend have gone back. Like, so they also have to go now, wind up. They were winding up the pastime. So at that time, Arjuna was remembering what all Krishna did for us, all the things, how Krishna saved them. So that time, Arjuna was saying, like, how all Krishna helped us, being a chariot driver to me, being so protective in so many ways. So he was trying to remember Krishna. Because it says when devotees are put into difficulty, they will definitely remember Krishna. There is a chance for them to remember. So in the 37th sloka, Krishna says among Pandavas is Arjuna. Krishnina Vasudevosmi Pandavanam Dhananjaya Muninam Api Aham Vyasa Kavinam Kushana Kavi. Of descendant of Vrishni, he is Vasudeva. And Pandavas, he is Arjuna. So Arjuna is also Vishaka Singh. How was that Arjuna becoming Krishna? It's not like that. Krishna expands to Radharani. It's both the same. And Radharani expands to Lalita and Vishaka. This Vishaka Sakhi is Arjuna. So in that way, Arjuna is an expansion of Krishna. But not, you can't say Arjuna is Krishna. No, it's an expansion. Okay, that you should know. And they eternally associated. Like you can see Radha Krishna is not separated from Lalita and Vishaka. They'll be always together. When the king goes somewhere, he has his associates with him. King will not go anywhere alone. There'll be ministers, at least 1 or 2 ministers. So similarly, Krishna doesn't go alone anywhere. Krishna means Radharani, Krishna means his associates. Lalita, Vishaka, all the Manjaris, everyone will be there together. That's why Mahaprabhu means even Nityananda Prabhu, the Panchatattva, everyone is there. All the Gaura Bhakta Vrinda, everyone is there. So like that. Okay. So among Pandavas, Krishna says he's Arjuna. This way Arjuna is very, very dear to Krishna in all ways, because he's the eternal associate of the Lord. So it says among the son of Pandu, Arjuna is famous as Dhananjaya. Why? Why is Arjuna called Dhananjaya?
Because he collected money for Rajaswaya Yagna.
Yes. But the Rajaswaya Yajna happened after the battle, Prabhu. And this, in the sense, after the Kurukshetra war. And this Bhagavad Gita is happening before the war. Then how did Arjuna get the name Dhananjaya? Similar answer, but it's not for Rajasuya. Okay, there was another yajna that was performed before the battle. Yes, Pooja Mataji?
Ashwamedha Yajna.
Yeah, for Ashwamedha. So they were about to do that yajna. And so there are two. One is Rajasuya Yajna. Rajasuya Yajna happened when Yudhishthira Maharaj became the king. And then there was a Yudhishthira Maharaj, he wanted to honor Krishna. That time Rajasuya Yajna was done. And then we know that Shishupal came and tried to spoil, and Krishna Sudarshana took Shishupal's life. So that was after the war. But before that, yes, there was an Ashwamedha Yajna done. And for that, Arjuna has collected wealth. That's called Dhananjaya. Somebody who won the wealth for Krishna. For the Yudhishthira Maharaj, he got it. So he was called as Dhananjaya. Dandodamedam asmi, nitir asmi chikisata, maunam chaivasmi gukyanam jnanam jnanavata aham. So among all the means of suppressing lawless, he is a punishment, and those who seek victory, he is a morality. Of secret things, I am silence, and the wise, he is the wisdom. Okay, so these are different expansions of the Lord. Or Krishna says, these are all his opulences. And upon all existence, the seed or bijam is Krishna. Yachapi sarva bhutanam bijam tat aham arjuna natat astvi vina yatsyan maya bhudam characharam. When Krishna says aham bija pradapita, he is the seed giving father for everyone. Bijam, non-moving and moving, everything exists. It cannot exist without Krishna. So he is the generating seed of all existence. There is no being moving or non-moving that can exist without Krishna. So everything has a cause, and everything is coming from the Lord. Okay, that means Krishna is the seed-giving father, but the material nature is giving us the body. Okay, even non-moving, everything, the seed or the bijam. In the sense, Brahma might be the secondary creator, but Krishna is giving the power for Brahma to create. Okay, Krishna is the primary creator. So Krishna is Prapitamaha, Brahma becomes Pitamaha. So in that way, these are different opulences, but very, very, this is among all the unlimited, it's just a minute of this, because Krishna says in 40 to 41 sloka, there is no end to Krishna's vibhuti. Anything opulent, beautiful, glorious in this world is just a spark of Krishna's splendor. Nanto asti mama divyanam vibhutinam parantapa esha dutte sada propto vibhutir vistaro maya. So he's saying, O conqueror of enemy, there is no end to my divine manifestations. What I've spoken to you is but a mere indication of an infinite opulence, just a spark. What Krishna has spoken is just a mere indication, means it's just a part, not even part, just 1/4, maybe. Because the whole thing is still to be exposed. Like Krishna just told little bit, because Krishna wants to keep that suspense also, that to show the Vishwarupa. Because if Krishna says everything, then Arjuna will not be excited. Like for example, it says like my sister-in-law is in abroad. So there they scan and they say the sex of the child. It's just not allowed in India. So the excitement is there in India. We know that on that day of delivery, like what is the sex of the kid? It's a boy or a girl. But then that excitement is gone there, because they already know which child is going to come, and they prepare for that. So that excitement should be there. So here Krishna is keeping that excitement for Arjuna for the next chapter, in the sense to show the Vishwarupa. But little bit, he just gave a spark so that Arjuna is not bewildered. Later on, we'll see in the 11th chapter, Arjuna asked for the form, and that's why Krishna shows the universal form. And after seeing that, Krishna's like, no, Arjuna's like, no, I don't want to see this form. Come in your normal 400. Then finally, he don't want to see that also. And he says, please come in your 200 form. I'm happy with that. Because the universal form is not to be accepted by a devotee. Devotee cannot have any Sakya and rasas, Madhurya and Valsalya rasa with the universal form. The exchange of rasa is different. There is no much rasa than in a Shyam Sundar form of the Lord. Okay, that's why in ISKCON you won't see any universal form deity, any temple. No, everywhere it's Radha Shyam Sundar, Radha Madhav, and Radha Ras Bihari, and different forms of the two-handed form of the Lord. Because we'll see later on why this And it's a temporary form. It's just in the material world, the universal form. And it's mainly for a demon. Devotee appreciates the two-handed shams in the form of the Lord for the respiration of rasa. Yad yad vibhuti mat sattvam Srimat Urjanameva va tat tat eva vagachatvam mamat tejo amsha sambhavan. Know that all opulent, beautiful, and glorious creation springs from a spark of Krishna's splendor. Do I have to correct an open book, Mataji, and give the marks?
Yes, Mataji, I sent it to you.
Really, sorry for this Kartik month, so busy. I'll definitely give it next week. I'll keep a reminder and start correcting. Okay. So yeah, you send me, but I could not respond. Okay. So I just remembered because after this 10th chapter, and then we have to again give, right? 7, 8, 9, 10. Yeah. So
Yes, Mataji.
I'll give the marks for this, and then I'll give the next question. Okay. So here it is said, Krishna now speaks of his opulence as a whole, and Krishna says anything majestic, beautiful, that's creation in the past, present, and future is just a fragment of Krishna's splendor. So if you see anything beautiful, you see a nice peacock feather, and you've seen some birds have different cute colors and butterflies, the wings, or that nature, if you see nice waterfall and very nice sunrise. So all this is actually Krishna's opulence, Krishna's splendor. When Prabhupada used to see the rose, and if anyone has smelled the Vrindavan roses, so beautiful, and the smell is so nice. Not like any other rose in any other part of the world. It's not so this thing, that the smell from Vrindavan, that rose. So when Prabhupada was smelling, Prabhupada's like, see, this is the smell of Krishna. In the sense, he's like, if a spark can be this beautiful and so good smell, what about the Lord, the whole thing? If a spark can be so beautiful, so anything, all that, it is Krishna's energy. In this verse, Lord Krishna gathers all the vibhutis, which he did not mention, and one should consider that all the glorious objects are not different from Krishna by being under his control and being pervaded by him. So Krishna is all-pervasive super soul. Atava bahutene tenam kipya tena atavarjuna vistabhyam itam Krishnam ekam shena sthito jagat eka amshena sthito jagat. If you say the whole thing is 4 by 4, if you say 1 by 4, ekamsha is this material world. And where is this 3 by 4 then?
Spiritual world.
Yeah, it's the spiritual world. Just imagine, this material world is so much, no? We could not, nobody could do like traveling all over the world and seeing different things. This material world is thus 1/4 of Krishna's opulence, and not double, triple, 4 times of this is the spiritual world. So just imagine how the spiritual world will be. In material world, this is the opulence, is what we see around. And what about the spiritual world? So 3/4. So Krishna is teaching us the 1/4 so that we are ready to go to the 3/4. Unless we know what is in this 1/4, then only can we understand the 3/4. So it's very important. It says, Ekam Shena Sthito Jagat. Krishna says, what is the use of Arjuna to tell all this knowledge? With my single fragment, I pervert and support the entire universe. So the Supreme Lord is represented throughout the entire material universe by entering into each as super soul. Which Vishnu is as super soul in us?
Shirodakashayi Vishnu.
So it is said, what is the use of telling all this? The Lord tells Arjuna, there is no point in understanding how things exist in separate opulences and grandeur. So he should know that all the things are existing due to Krishna's entering as super soul. If Krishna didn't enter as super soul, that means there is no soul. Only if there is a soul, there is a super soul. Once the soul leaves, the super soul also leaves. So everything is maintained and everything is so opulent because of that super soul. And Prabhupada concludes the purport by saying, if, however, one thoroughly study the different description of the opulence and expansion of Krishna's energy, one can understand without any doubt position of Lord Shri Krishna and can fix his mind in the worship of Krishna without deviation. So that's why we are knowing these opulences. Why are we knowing? It's not somebody asked, why is Krishna self-boasting himself, saying that I am this, I am this, I am this. Krishna is trying to convince us, saying that he is the Supreme Personality of God, and we can fix our mind in Krishna and worship him without deviation. What happens as we practice Krishna consciousness for some time? It starts becoming dry, and then you lose interest and you fall down. Sometimes it happens. Some devotees have fall down. So to not have a fall down in the sense they stop chanting, they stop associating, they completely become materialistic. and not at all Krishna conscious. No, that should not happen to us, because Maya is strong. Anything can happen to anyone at any time. So we should always be in association of devotees and fix our mind in worshipping Krishna without deviation. That's possible by studying Shastra. When you study Shastra, you know, okay, Krishna says this is this. So we've started late, so I'll skip breakout room. It's just that you tell any 4 vibhutis you remember towards the end of the class. Okay, any of you can randomly think about any 4 vibhutis we mentioned from 19 to 42, and you say how it will help you in preaching. How can you apply that? Okay, so you say that. I'll just, we finished. Or might be without breakout room, we can have a discussion. Okay, who likes to say about any 4 vibhutis? 1 or 2, like if you don't remember all the 4. We learned so many vibhutis. Like any 4 vibhutis we remember from 19 to 42, and how will it help you to preach? Yeah, Padma Shri Mataji, you want to try? Any vibhuti, huh?
I'm the taste of water, and
Okay.
Hare Krishna Mataji.
so when we are talking to
Yes, ma'am. Okay, so yes, Mamta Mataji.
I'm the Om.
Okay, the Om. So how will you apply it in preaching then? Yeah, Siddhartha.
Hare Krishna Mataji. Mataji, in preaching, what we used to say is Yajnanam Japa Yajnosmi, that people are not convinced of chanting. They still think that doing elaborate homas and havanas is very greater than simple chanting. So to explain the importance of chanting, we can use this Yajnanam Japa Yajnosmi, that this is also Yajna, Sankirtan Yajna for this age.
Okay.
That I used to do.
Yeah, that is a good application for preaching. Like normally we use that Yajnanam Japa. Okay. Yes, Siddhartha Prabhu. Add
Yes.
something.
Yajnanam Japa Yogosmi, actually, I was also telling, but another thing is Vrishninam Vasudeva Asmi. So Vrishninam Vasudeva Asmi, so therefore Krishna consciousness, so therefore we should remember Krishna. And also, the same day Pandavanam Dhananjaya. So the entire Gita is between Krishna and Dhananjaya. So in preaching of Gita, these two can complement each other.
Yes, Prabhu. Okay. Okay, who else like to say?
Hare Krishna Mataji, one more thing. It is mentioned that among all the knowledge, Krishna is spiritual knowledge. It is mentioned that. So we can apply this in preaching also. We can say that everything we are gaining from this material world, material knowledge, we should also focus on what is the essence. The essence is spiritual knowledge. So in this way, we can also preach about spiritual knowledge. That's what I think.
Yes. So among all the knowledge, Krishna is the spiritual knowledge. Yes.
Hare Krishna Mataji. Mataji Vaishnavanam Panchat Pranam Mataji. Mataji Vaishnavanam Yatha Shambhu, right? So actually most of the time means people want to argue that Shiva is different and Vishnu is different, Krishna is different, so we have to worship. Some of them will tell like, right? So there will be always argument between Saivas and Vaishnavas. So at that time we can tell Mataji. So Vaishnavanam Yatha Shambhu means among all the Vaishnavas, Shiva is the topmost Vaishnava.
Rudranam Shankara. So yes, that verse, because when we say about it, normally it happens. There'll be demigod worshippers and they'll argue. Okay, at that time we can say that these verses help us to preach. Okay. Shreyas Mataji also says, Shreyas Prabhu. Okay, Krishna is the intelligence, strength of the powerful sex life with Vedic injections. Yes. Dharma aviruddha kamasmi, Krishna says. Okay. So these are for some buddhis which will help us to remember Krishna and help us to preach. Okay. Remember Krishna, as you all said, yeah, Nakshatranam Aham Shashi. That will help us, right? Because when we say, just we discuss that when we see the moon, we feel like, oh, that's Krishna. And that will help us to remember Krishna. Prabhupada was saying, like, everybody drinks water. Everybody drinks all over the world, all over the world. So when you drink water, how many times did you remember Krishna? Prabhupada says, that is again Krishna consciousness, saying that Krishna says, Rasoham apsukantaya, the taste, that is Krishna. So that will help us to remember Krishna. When we see the moon and the light, we should remember that's the eyes of the Lord. So, Prabhupada says, when you see the sunlight, when there is sunlight, you can see yourself also, no? When there is sunlight, we can see ourselves. Similarly, when you do God realization, we can do self-realization all the same time. When you see the super soul, you understand the soul. So, these vibhutis, when we say that out of mountain Krishna is the Himalayas, and now all the Veda mantras, he's the Sama Veda, then he's the Om, he is the Japan, Yajnanam, Japa Yajnosmi, yes, and he's Kalosmi, he's Yamaraj, he's Arjuna, he's the demon Prahlad, he's Lord Shiva. All this will help us to remember Krishna. Okay. And significantly for preaching, yes, Yajnanam, Japa Yajnosmi will help. And Nandita Mataji, you can post the attendance link. So Yajnanam, Japa Yajnosmi will help us for preaching. And also it says, Mrityu Sarva Harasya, death will take everything from us. And yes, time, it's Krishna. So among, yes, Pandavas, he is the Dhananjaya's Arjuna. So all this will help us to understand Krishna. Okay. So please mark the attendance. So I'll give you the open book marks next class, and then I'll give you the second open book for chapter 9 and 10. Okay, next class. So you have 1 week time. And then please start studying sloka, start preparing the short books, closed books. Mataji, you have the Bhakti Vriksha here, no, in this group?
Yes, Mataji, there are 4.
4? Oh, nice. Who are all the leaders? Bhakti Vriksha leaders?
They're not actually, they are working like by turn,
Like
Mataji.
Yeah, no problem. Yeah, that's fine. But it's still, it's going on, no? Like devotees are attending and
3 groups are working very actively.
okay.
1 group is a little behind.
Yeah, but still they are discussing and all the purports and the questions.
Yes, the 3 groups that are active are already come to chapter 9 or 10 to discuss the questions.
Very nice. Okay. So you discuss the closed book questions, and if any questions are out of box, you're not able to understand, you can always put to me or some other senior teachers and understand the answers, or you can discuss among yourself and understand, because some devotees find it's difficult to prepare alone, but it's always in a group, it's always better. So this is once a week class, and we won't go through each and every purport. But in a Bhakti Vriksha, it's very easy for you to sit and read and understand. And alone, it might be dry, it will not help. Like, unless you're so enthusiastic, it will not help us. So to read and go forward. So, but this group will help us. And then yes, alone also you can read, but it's always better in a group, you time and then try to discuss the question answers. And it's like you learn from that, and that will help us. Okay, Hare Krishna, I think we finished chapter 10. So next week we'll see the universal form of the Lord. Okay, the 11th chapter.
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Hare Krishna
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Mataji.
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Hare Krishna
Hare Krishna.
Mataji. Hare Krishna
Mataji, I
Mataji.
have one question, Mataji.
Yes, Padma Shri Mataji.
See, in 10th chapter, I remember this because we were reading all the opulences of Krishna. Also in the world, we see so many ghastly things. So one of my friend knows that I go to ISKCON. So she was asking me, why another avatar of Krishna or Vishnu is not coming? So many of things are happening. Is this not sufficient for your Krishna to come? Like that she was asking me. So how to answer, what to answer such people? For me, see, for me, I know it is my own karma that is coming back to me. But how to answer people like that?
Yes, Mataji. So Krishna is always there. We are not able to see. It said, Kalikale Nama Rupe Krishna Avatar. So in Kali Yuga, Krishna has come in his holy name. It's no difference. Abhinnatam Nama Namina. So Krishna is there in the holy name. And Krishna is waiting till the Kalki Avatar to come. That's predicted already. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu came in Kali Yuga. Now it's the holy name. And it's all Srimad Bhagavatam is also the avatar of the Lord. And later on, 4,27,000 years later, Kalki will come. Because that's the time to end the yugas. And why is Krishna not coming is because those people are so sinful and those people have this desire to do the sin that the Lord is allowing, because Lord have done a lot of preaching till now. He came as Krishna and gave Bhagavad Gita. People are not bothered about reading Bhagavad Gita. He came as Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, gave us Shishtashtaka and so many other teachings. People are not bothered about that. And now again, his representative, Senapati Nayak, Srila Prabhupada, Bhakti Saraswati, Bhakti Vinod Thakur, all of them came and gave their teachings, the Goswamis. Even that they are not bothered. So Krishna have done a lot of preaching till now. Krishna have come and helped Arjuna and so many other ways. But then all the avatars he have taken already to help different devotees to kill the demons. But now there's a limit. Krishna is not going to preach anymore. Kalki is not going to preach anymore. Just destroy, because so much teachings they gave, so much preaching happened, but people don't take advantage of it and still they do sinful lives. That should end somewhere. No? So in Bhagavatam it says, people will degrade so much that they even will try to kill each other and eat, and so many things are going to happen that the Kalki will come and destroy. So now the Lord is there, Mataji, in form of his holy name. People should take shelter. Like it says, so many rape cases are happening. And why is not Krishna saving them, but Krishna saved Draupadi? Because Draupadi took complete surrender of Krishna, or she completely took that holy name of the Lord. But not everyone is doing that. Okay, so it might be some sinful activities coming from the previous life. Yes, it's not only your karma, everyone's, all of our karma is coming back to us. So devotees also might have to suffer, to undergo so many struggles and obstructions in their life. That's because of their previous karma coming. But Krishna will watch. Krishna is, having patience, a lot of patience, and trying to bring them to the right path. But if it's not happening, then there's no other way to destroy others. The destruction happens. So Krishna is always there, like the sun is always there. Even though it's night here, there's some other part it's day. So only those who have eyes, that the Jnana Chakshus, Shastra Chakshus can see that Mataji. The Lord is always there, and Lord is waiting for that moment to come to destroy them. But if they are fortunate, they can take to the teachings of the Lord and surrender to the Lord. Krishna will forgive them. But they are not. They're so sinful that Krishna is allowing the sin, the reaction to take place also. Like something bad is happening to us, it's because of our past karma. We can't blame God for that. No? Sometimes they blame the Lord. But it's the soul who desired it. It's our reactions coming from our previous life. So Krishna can change the karma for a pure devotee, but we are not pure enough. So that's why. Okay. Hare Krishna, everyone. Thank you for joining.
Hare Krishna.